Hello, welcome to another Dave's Desk. Today I am with the awesome, the impressive, the highly noted Sally Rivers, vocal coach to the stars. Sally is not only a professional singer herself and has been for many, many years, she has coached virtually any name you could dream. Honestly, I mean, she obviously hasn't coached everybody, but Sally, welcome to the podcast. Just start, if you will, by giving us two or three name drop for us. Who have you helped with their voice?
Oh my goodness me. Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
Celine Dion, Little Mix, Russell Crowe, lots and lots of actors,
Wow.
lots and lots of singers. Yeah, all sorts of anyone with a voice.
Anyone with a voice.
Anyone with a voice.
And a little bird told me, and please tell me if I've got this wrong, but a little bird once told me that at one stage you were the only woman to be a fully certified Sennheiser vocal coach?
I'm Sennheiser endorsed. I'm the only, we believe I'm the only Sennheiser endorsed vocal coach worldwide. Certainly the only one in the UK, which is pretty cool.
Whoa. So
Yeah,
basically what we're saying there, guys, is no slouch. All right? No
pretty cool.
slouch.
Pretty cool.
So, Sally, you are all about the voice, and people watching this can range from teachers, students, business owners, business leaders. And I'm going to ask you how they can look after their voice, why they should look after their voice, some different content. I'm basically going to put you on the spot and ask you to give us some gold from the sort of catalogue of your mind here. So let's start off with what might seem an obvious question, but you might have a different take on it. Why should we look after our voice, and how?
Well, you only get one voice, don't you? If you're a guitarist and you're playing a guitar and you break a string, then you go out and you buy another string. If you damage your voice, then pretty much you're damaging it for life. You've really got to take good care of your voice, and that's looking at everything really, looking at your lifestyle. So if you're a professional voice user, or even if you're not, then you want to be really careful, sort of things like concerts, singing along at the top of your voice, football matches, screaming. We have lots of problems with PE teachers, particularly because they're shouting all the time.
Yeah.
Swimming instructors, think about that environment, how noisy that is. Personal trainers often have lots of voice issues. So you've really got one voice, and you owe it to really look after that voice the best that you can.
Wow. And so, I mean, you've given some wonderful examples there. And how can let's pick one of them, because I love the metaphor of the PE teacher. Because
Yeah.
yeah, in that massive acoustic sports hall or standing on the side of the swimming pool,
Mm.
you would have to shout in a cavernous.
Outdoors.
Yeah.
Outdoors, the real worry, because if you're outdoors, imagine if you're on a football field, how far away the people are going to be from you, and then you're speaking to the wind. So the wind's just going to steal your voice completely. So that's is going to be a really big issue.
So how can we look after our voice?
Well, the simple thing is hydration. Hydration, really seriously looking at your hydration. Yeah, because your vocal folds are naturally covered in some really lovely secretions. And these secretions act like a cooling agent for the voice. So when the vocal cords come together, the folds come together, they bounce off each other. If you don't have those lovely secretions there, then it's going to create heat and friction, and they're going to start to swell up. So anytime that your voice becomes croaky, that means that your folds have swollen up a little bit. So if you have no voice, that means that they've completely swollen up. And if you come at the end of a busy day, and you're just kind of driving home and you've been talking all day and your voice is really croaky, that means you've got some swelling in there too. So you can imagine, again, let's go back to the PE teacher out on the football field, break time, it's got no voice. He's really going to be storing up a lot of problems there. So the first one is looking at your hydration and making sure that you're really well hydrated. From the point that you have a drink to it reaching your vocal folds is around about 4 hours. So,
Really?
yeah, yeah. So if you've got a gig, let's say hypothetically you've got a gig or whatever it is, speaking engagement, if you're a teacher, you've got a really busy day on, let's say it's on Saturday, then you need to be seriously looking at your hydration sort of Thursday onwards. Because if you think about your body as being a little bit like a bank account, where it's a credit and a debit situation. So let's say you're sitting in an office and you've got the heater on, you're really sweating straight away. That's a debit. Yeah. Have a herbal tea. That's a credit. Let's say you've been to the gym. Again, you've sweated loads. That's going to be a debit. So when you have that drink of water, it's going to replace all of those things in your body. And remember, your respiratory system is using a hell of a lot of moisture. Yeah, your brain, your heart, all your muscles are using tons of water. So what's left behind to moisturize your vocal folds? Probably not much. So if you want to look after your voice, then you have to really make sure that your bank account is always in credit.
I remember interviewing a neuroscientist who'd done some studies on how food and drink affects us. And he said, just for the brain, without any physical exertion in your life, just for your brain to be properly hydrated, you need to drink about 1.5 litres of water. And so if hydration is the best prevention, and guilty as charged, occasionally I stress my voice, I end up getting what I call my sexy voice.
Hey, hello, Barry White.
Liz calls it my annoying voice. How about the best cure?
Okay, well, it's prevention. You just can't go there. You can't afford to get to that place, I'm afraid. It's once you're educated, once you're informed, that should just never happen. We need to look at you having regular vocal naps in the day. So again, that PE teacher, ideally no talking, vocal naps, vocal naps. Although I am a bit of a fan of a power nap, I like to set a timer on my Fitbit for sort of 10, 15 minutes and actually close my eyes and have a little rest. But that's another story. So yeah, regular vocal naps. If you're in the car, yeah, silence. Taking those opportunities during the day not to talk. So when you are talking, I mean, for instance, Broadway singers have it written into their contracts often that they won't speak on the day of a performance. So again, what they're doing is they're saving the voices for the best performance that they can give. And if you're an actor and you've got a particular scene which is going to be vocally very, very demanding, then again, often they're going to nap or rest for really long periods before and after. And again, it's just that thing about napping. So making sure that you're having some decent vocal rest. You're also getting plenty of sleep. You're having plenty of water. And if you can, get some really good technique in as well.
Wonderful.
Because that's the thing that's going to save your voice, really, the technique.
Well, maybe on another podcast we'll talk about technique with you if you're
Yes,
willing.
indeed.
But for now, just as a conclusion, let me ask you, give you 3 scenarios of people who use their voice or want to improve their voice, and just if you can, give me your top tip if it hasn't already been covered by the prevention and the cure. So let's just say either a young man or woman, young adult, wants to become a professional singer or just improve their voice because they gig in the local pub or whatever. What's the top tip for them?
I think probably top tips would be to get as much experience as you can, get used to holding a microphone, buy the best equipment that you can afford, and get good advice on what you buy, because otherwise you will get mercilessly ripped off. Work with a singing teacher as soon as you can, as early as you can, and take your voice care really seriously, and enjoy singing. Put your love into every single note that you sing.
And I have personally referred students to you, Sally, and I know every single one of them
You
have
certainly
great
have.
experiences,
Yeah,
really good
thank you.
experiences. Second scenario, then put you on the spot, is that PE teacher. Now we've talked about hydration.
Yeah.
What else? What else could help the teacher?
Yeah, for him, it's got to be technique. It's got to be technique based. He needs to work with a good voice coach to understand his breathing, understand his support, understand where he's placing the voice, and he's going to be taught the same techniques that an actor would use who was on a film set and would be screaming and shouting at another actor all day. So you think about actors do that day in, day out. It's really no different. whatever context you're using the voice in, it's no different. You're still using the voice. So it's essential that he gets that help before he starts to develop voice issues, because once you've got those issues, they tend to be quite difficult to undo.
So it's again reinforcing the prevention is better than cure thing.
100%.
Okay. So we've covered the young starlet singer, we've covered the shouty teacher. How about the business owner, man or woman, who is about to give the speech of their life? What's the top tip for them?
Visualization, hydration.
Yeah.
Really, because nerves can really get in the way of the voice. Once you have beautiful technique that eliminates a lot of that, I would definitely say to visualize everything leading up to that point, playing it over and over in your head like a film, and seeing yourself. I think taking lots of pauses, lots of nice pauses so you're not sort of talking too fast, making sure again that the voice is really hydrated, because if it isn't, you're going to have cracks, you're going to be developing a lot of phlegm in your voice, and that's going to make you feel nervous as well as making you sound nervous.
Awesome.
And tonality, of course, tonality. Using your tonality.
Wonderful. So we're talking rest, silence, hydration, projection, learning how to place the voice. There's so much people could learn from you. As a parting shot, before I ask you to tell us how people can get in touch with you, the one thing you've done that took you from someone who did a bit of singing to where you are today, what's in terms of you, your business, your attitude, your motivation, what's the one thing that's driven you, Sally?
I think being really authentic, being really honest. I think that one of the things that certainly got in my way, true story, was when I was already endorsed by Sennheiser. And I was due to meet them for the very, very first time. I was really getting in my own way. They were coming to my studio, and I was thinking, oh, what if it's disappointing? What if it's not what they're expecting? What if I'm not good enough, And I was even though I'd been endorsed for probably about 18 months at that point, and actually on the day I was due to meet up with my contact, I got my best dress on, I felt really great. And they phoned me about an hour before the appointment to say, we've just pulled up. Do you want us to come back later, or shall we come in now? And I said, totally without thinking, oh, you can come in now. I just need to have a quick wee and then I'll be with you. And the second I said it, I thought, oh, I can't believe I've just said that. I can't believe I've just said that. And actually, I think it's that sort of keeping it real that people love. So being authentic, being honest, keeping it real, and always doing the best job that you can for that person, and doing it because you love to do it, not because you're getting paid for it. You do it because you love to serve.
Great answer. So if people want to get in touch with you for either group sessions and one-to-one coaching, or just pick your brains, how can they do that?
Yeah, I am on Facebook, Sally Rivers Vocal Coach, and also www.coachingwithsoul.co.uk.
Sally, thank you so much for your time, your knowledge, your expertise. Very generous, very authentic, just like you said. Thank you very much indeed. God bless you. Have a terrific rest of your day.
Thank
and for
you.
everyone else, see you soon on another Dave's Desk.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Oh, and don't forget to visit our website at davidhyner.com to claim your free audiobook. Until the next time, go Rhino. Avin it.